Yo, how's it going, everybody? So, I had some plans, but it didn't go as well as I thought it would hope. So, we are not going to be doing that. Sorry about that. And sorry, you don't even know. But I know a few others have seen what I've been trying to do, and it they said it's worthwhile, but for now it's not ready. It's not set up. So we're just gonna do it from here. So yeah. Anyways, how's everyone's nights? I see a bunch of familiar faces down in chat. You don't need to you don't need to shout yourself out or anything, or you don't need to make yourself apparent, but I'm just witnessing you. I'm perceiving you. I am making sure that uh you're also included. Also, I was about to play Half-Life until I realized, you know what? I don't want to play Half-Life right now. I just want to watch some videos. I don't know why. I just want to chill. Like I have the like uh excitement. Yeah, excitement. I have the excitement to do it, and just I don't really feel like it. I don't really feel like playing games right now. So we're just gonna watch some videos. I hope you're what do you call? Think, Hook, think. I hope you're not too unimpressed, but then again, you're here, so what do I know? What do I know? But yeah. Anyways, let's actually let me just talk to all of you. It's been a while. It's been a while since we had a one-on-one conversation, you know? I have a week-long vacation ahead of myself, so I am excited for that. And also the fact that there was a thing that I wanted to do and I kind of messed up my schedule, so hopefully I can do that thing. But if not, then whoops. But yeah. Well, I'll play it by day. How about that? How about that? Anyways, let us go to the overlay. Overlay? No. The stream? That's not it. Going right into the void. So again, I wanted to watch some videos that are from my watch later stuff. You know, just fill them out, you know.
Hello everyone,
Oh, there we go.
name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 10 scary videos. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more scary content. Alright, with that said, let's begin. The following video was published to the popular ghost subreddit by a user known as Asomak a couple of days ago, and has been taking the community by storm, theorizing what the footage could possibly show.
It
The
looks like a
upload of the
cat.
footage provided a bit of context that reads, quote, "While I was out last night, I checked my security camera at around 11:30 PM and saw this. Any ideas on what it could be? When I got home at 1 AM, I checked the camera before I walked in the door, and it was definitely still there. But once I was inside, I couldn't see anything in person, and it disappeared from the camera feed. I have a lot more recorded footage that spans over an hour or so."
You have
End quote.
ghosts.
Let's take a look and see what he captured.
Alright, let's see. What? They're telling me it's been there.
Just by taking a quick look at the video, it is definitely quite difficult to tell what exactly it is that this security camera managed to record. It doesn't appear to be any kind of creature or something, but rather a very small paranormal entity. I'm always quite skeptical when it comes to orb videos, as they almost always are caused by either dust particles or a bug on the lens. Whatever can be seen in this video is, however, a bit harder to explain.
Okay, so I was thinking Photoshop, but then that's not it. I don't think that's it. I think it's actually a bug with its wings flapping around, because there's like a bunch of after images like off of it. And from what from my limited knowledge of cameras and what I've been told, when cameras are pointed to like a certain place for so long, for like so many hours about the day, and also low quality, tend to glitch out, and I'm pretty sure it's just a simple moth. That could possibly be a moth.
So for now, all we can do is theorize and come up with our own answers. What do you guys think is going on in this video? Does the security camera footage show some kind of a ghost, or is this something else entirely? Be sure to let me know in the comments below.
I mean, it's kind of weird how it's like going from like this to this. like someone's like grabbing it or something, but it's no. I'm pretty sure it's just a simple insect.
A Swedish TikTok user known as Den Fisken posted a video to his account on January 22nd, which sees him wandering around a forest all by
Oh
himself
boy.
in the middle of the night. While he's shown trying to fix up a chainsaw, likely as part of a job in forestry, he suddenly hears something incredibly strange and eerily nearby that causes him to stop dead in his tracks in complete terror.
Cougar?
Take a look and have a listen.
Cougar. Ow! Hi, nymph.
As you just heard, the noise that was coming from somewhere in the forest definitely didn't sound too friendly, and it didn't sound like any kind of human. Some people suspect that this sound could have come from a timber wolf.
I was about to say, like, isn't that just a wolf? Like, it was howling and stuff, so it should be a wolf, unless there's not wolves out here. That would have been strange. Oh, thank you for the stretch.
But others think that the sound is coming from something much scarier, the Wendigo. Originating from Algonquin folklore, the Wendigo is a mythological entity that has permeated various forms of art and literature, from social commentary to spine-chilling horror fiction. Often portrayed as a malevolent spirit or a creature with humanoid traits, the Wendigo is believed to possess humans, inducing in them an insatiable hunger for human flesh and driving them towards acts of murder. Some descriptions paint the Wendigo as a colossal figure with
About
an
to face
icy
the Reaper.
heart, its presence heralded by
Face the Reaper. Wish she luck? Oh. Well, good luck. I don't know what you're doing, but it sounds pretty epic, so good luck, dude.
noxious odor, or an abrupt drop in temperature. This enduring legend continues to captivate and terrify audiences, serving as a testament to the enduring...
Wait. Isn't this just AI images? This has to be an AI image. Like these have to be Persona game. Oh. I don't know. I don't play Persona, but good luck either way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are like, at least most of them are AI images, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, for like, you know, stuff to like fill out the void, sure. Especially this I don't know what this is. Like it, like I'm looking at it right now. Sure, it has the horns, the the deer head. But like, what's going on underneath? Like, what's going on underneath the hood there? Like, it looks like a skirt. And it looks like someone's like being beamed up from the crotch, or something's happening. Who knows? And then this one looks like a freaking boss fight. Like you're going up in the woods and then you see a boss bar coming up. This one just looks freaky. But yeah, I'm pretty sure these are AI images.
continues to captivate and terrify audiences, serving as a testament to the enduring power of folklore in shaping cultural imagination. Sadly, we still don't have any kind of updates regarding this video, leaving us all to speculate the source of this spooky sound. Either way, let's just hope that Den Fisken won't have to experience something this terrifying in the forest again.
How about next time don't go out at night?
A YouTuber named Magnus Rismir posted a video to his channel in April of 2014 in which he ventures out to explore an abandoned haunted house located somewhere in Norway. Throughout the duration of the video, we watch as Magnus slowly but surely makes his way around the inside of the house, which appears to be extremely dark due to the lack of windows. However, very quickly he finds out that there's still electricity in the abandoned house.
Really?
For the first little while, it doesn't seem as if Magnus is going to come across anything too interesting or spooky during this investigation,
I'm pretty sure if that's a house with electricity. I'm I'm 50% sure it's one of those houses that are maybe maybe it's for like winter stuff, cuz like people like find uh like the rangers will put up uh trailers or like any sort of housing just for people to sit in and you know fend off the cold, but I'm not sure if this is one of them. It could be. There might be different way like things, but I'm not even entirely sure if uh it's the same exact thing.
But that all changes in the blink of an eye. At one point in the video, he peeks his camera up in a certain spot of the house, only to be met with something so scary that it causes him to scream for dear life and run away as fast as he can. Take a look.
Scream. It's probably like a person up there or something. Or maybe an animal. Or maybe this is just or maybe it's like their place and they're trying to make it big with this sort of this sort of thing, because he's going directly upstairs. He's not even checking out the downstairs. So this has to be forged. Forged? No, this has to be what do you call? It has to be fake. And it's just his friend up there, maybe? Let's see. That's what I'm getting at here. What is...
Upon panning the camera up, Magnus is greeted with the horrifying sight of some kind of creepy creature or masked individual staring.
That looks like a dog. That looks straight up like a dog. It looks like one of those Dobermans? I think I'm getting that wrong, but that looks like a dog with its with its nose here, eyes, ears.
Down at him. This of course is enough to cause Magnus to run out of the house as fast as he possibly can, before the video unfortunately cuts to black. Despite the fact that this video is 9 years old, to this day, nobody has been able to give a concrete answer as to what kind of terrifying entity Magnus encountered that day. So what do you guys think it is?
It's
Is
fake.
this some kind of demonic entity? Perhaps this was a person hiding out in the house, or is this something else entirely? Be sure to let me know your theories in the comments down below.
It looks fake. It looks like he just walked into this house, placed a thing. I think it's a bagel. It could be a bagel. Could be a really moldy bagel. But it seems like they just put the like found a mask or something scary and put the stick on it, you know, to hold it up, and then he was like, it seemed very fake to me because he went in the house. He wasn't even looking at anything else, like anything on the bottom floor. He went straight to the top and then aimed his camera right at there. Like that's just that just screams to me this is fake.
Reddit user Pitiful Adeptness 457.
Wait, pitiful adeptness? What a name.
Posted a video to the popular UFO subreddit. which is a community for people to go and share their sightings and encounters with alien life
Cloverfield?
or UFO spacecrafts.
You mean that that Alien, or the second movie? That even, or Cloverfield Lane? They even shouldn't even be a part of the Cloverfield thing.
The uploader states, quote, "I was sat doing some work on my laptop and I happened to glance out of the windows, and that's where I saw
okay.
these two objects. I quickly grabbed my phone and ran upstairs to a balcony where I recorded these videos. There was no noise at all, other than traffic in the background. Does anyone have any idea what this was?" End quote. So, without further ado, let's take a look.
Blackpool footage.
Holy shit, where the fuck is it? I can't even see it.
Of course, because the alleged UFOs are so far away in the sky, and because the video in question was filmed on a cell phone, it's impossible to tell for 100% certainty whether or not what was captured on camera was a UFO or not. But it definitely looks convincing. A lot of people in the comments seem convinced it is a UFO as well, with many people being fascinated by how the UFOs disappear and then reappear. It's something you'd expect to see ripped straight out of a sci-fi movie. So what do you guys think? Is this legitimate footage of UFOs disappearing and then reappearing on camera, or is this the result of something else? I'll let you guys be the judge.
I'm pretty sure it's something else. I had a friend who's from the European region. I think European? Is the UK part of Europe still? I don't think so. I have no idea. Anyways, they've been seeing a whole bunch of just UFO sightings all around. I'm just all right.
Chris from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill is widely known for making videos of him exploring a ton of abandoned locations around the US, and this next video is no exception. In this particular video, Chris is venturing out to explore an abandoned school in the middle of the night. Sadly though, not much is known about this particular school, but it definitely looks as though it's seen better days. For about the first couple of minutes of the exploration, Chris fortunately doesn't encounter anything too scary, but while exploring a long and dark hallway at around the 7-minute mark, Chris hears something that chills his blood cold. Take a listen.
Chills his blood cold.
Despite this terrifying noise, Chris nevertheless persists and decides to continue the investigation. 20 minutes or so go by without any sort of issues, but as you can probably expect, something else is coming right up that's going to scare Chris silly.
Oh? Are you sure it's not his breathing?
Then, 3 minutes later, as he approaches an abandoned lunch bag or something of the sort on the ground, Chris hears yet another noise that tells him that he may not be alone there.
Aw, someone left their little lunchbox. That is old. Oh. I wouldn't investigate that. kind of place? Well, it's a school, but... Oh, it must be a gym.
Sadly, this is where part 1 of Chris' investigation ends, so let's hope that
Did you
we
see
will
ghost
get some more
orbs?
answers with that. As for now, what do you guys think is causing all of those weird noises throughout the school? Is it the ghost of some vengeful student, or could it be a homeless person?
Alright. What child died in a school? Besides, don't say the obvious, but like, this is like old. Like, why? What? I don't know.
Anything is possible.
I retract my statement.
These next 2 videos were published to YouTube in October of 2014 by a YouTube user known as Slapdog, and were filmed in Hummel Park, located in Omaha, Nebraska. In the video, we watch as Slapdog makes his way around the area late at night, seemingly with his family. The area is surrounded by dozens of candles that are all lit, which just adds to the overall spooky factor. At around the 1.5 minute mark in the video, urged on by his children to look toward a particular spot, Slapdog proceeds to turn his camera and flashlight toward a tree, and it's there in which he makes a truly shocking discovery.
There's a blood trail and a t-shirt. There's a bloody t-shirt. Whoa, wait a minute. Where? 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 What tree? Which one?
Oh wait, I think I've
Where?
seen this one.
Which one? This one here?
What do you think we're talking about? There he is.
This sounds super fake.
Where?
Where?
This is a prank, I know.
Go! I just saw him. Go! Don't fall up the stairs. Oh shit! Get your flashlight, hurry!
Don't fall. He
Yeah, white
immediately
face.
falls.
He had a totally white face.
Really?
Some kind of a strange cloaked creature or person can be seen hiding behind the tree trunk. As soon as Slapdog notices what he's looking at, he proceeds to run away as fast as he can. As he's running away, he can be heard saying that the creature or person has a white face. In the second video, Slapdog and company are now driving away from the premises of Hummel Park and are debating about whatever it was that they just saw. However, unfortunately for them, they are not able to get very far at all before spotting something absolutely terrifying on the road right in front of them.
You're playing a prank on us, Dad. We're not
It wasn't more people? Hey Nim,
It's real. Back it up. Back.
what's with the heartbeat?
Go!
I'm trying to back up. I can't. I don't want to crash. He's coming back in the trees. He's gonna try to
Open!
get us.
Close the window!
Upon seeing this, Slapdog makes the wise decision to throw his car into reverse in an effort to get away from the area as quickly as possible, which seems to work. Sadly, despite this video being nearly a decade old, there doesn't seem to be any kind of update on it as to what happened next. It also doesn't seem as if anybody has ever figured out what that strange white-faced creature was, or what it was doing in the forest at night. It could of course be a complete hoax, but who knows.
I'm thinking it's a
If you
complete
guys have any
hoax.
theories on this video, I'd love to hear them in the comments. However, this video will probably forever remain a chilling mystery.
So honestly, from what I'm seeing, it's not a creature, it's more like a person, which is even more terrifying because people have imaginations. Creatures just have instincts. So yeah, they would have been fine if that was a creature, but if it was, in the first part, but the second part, yeah. think it's another bagel. Go eat, nymph. My dude, go eat. Like, do you want me? Actually, I was gonna say, do you want me to stop? But like, do you have money? Are you good? Are you just lazy? If you're lazy, then that's all on you. Okay, that's all on you.
A YouTuber called Ghosty frequently uploads videos to his channel in which he explores various abandoned places from around the world
Ghosty?
and documents his encounters with the paranormal and beyond. In this particular upload, Ghosty is venturing out to an abandoned and allegedly haunted asylum.
Nymph, thank you for the tier 1 subscription to Justice Man. Well, that's nice of you. Since you have money to spend, go get food, my dude.
Asylum at an undisclosed location. Thankfully though, unlike a lot of people on my channel, Ghosty didn't explore the place alone. In the over 30-minute video, we watch as Ghosty and company explore the building, which appears to be extremely debris-ruined and thrown apart. As soon as he steps foot into the asylum, it just gives off super creepy vibes that are impossible to shake.
It seems that you
Well,
didn't
let's
send a
rewind a bit.
message, but feel free to ask anything you'd like.
Well, thank you, Nymph, for the 69 bits. Nice.
Before Ghosty even decides to enter the building, something odd can be heard coming from nearby. Take a listen.
But any people that could feel things, any empaths that could feel things here? Oh. Empaths that could feel things here? Oh.
I'm sorry, but I don't
Empath
have
that can feel
digits in the
things here?
traditional
Oh.
sense. I exist as a soul trapped within a gem, serving my master Hook faithfully.
What are your digits? What? You mean your number? Nah, she's all mine. And not in that way. She's more like a Corvette. Like, I treat her more like a Corvette than an actual person, if you would. Which is kind of screwed up when I'm mentioning it, but like it's true, it's true. Like, I treat her well as a vehicle.
Somewhere in the area, you can make out what sounds like some children screaming. For what reason, nobody knows, which just makes it even more unsettling. Ghosty then asks aloud if he just heard some screams, to which he hears this as a response.
I know you could feel me. I know this. I do have an attachment here. I heard a scream earlier. Was that you? Oh. Oh.
Are you sure this isn't just
Okay.
this isn't just like kids out in the distance of what's going on? Take a ride on Curran, I see. No. I don't like ride her. I don't like get on her back and start riding. Like, I treat her more like a trophy. Trophy? I don't know, like a thing, an object. Like, here's this pretty and cute girl I have here, and that's it.
Hey.
We're kind of right. No. What? No, it's not like that. For real, it's not like that. Sounds more like a burb. Hey, a bird? Oh, you mean like a bird? Like a... What are you trying to say? You're giving me some wild like interpretation of like what I'm trying to say here. A burb. So, like, Current's like a pretty bird? Is that what I'm getting at here?
At around the 24-minute mark, while standing around in one of the asylum's rooms, Ghosty proceeds to hear a truly terrifying sound.
Hey, movement over there now. Oh,
You hear it?
that?
Where's it coming from though? Sounds like
Oh, the video. Sorry. I thought we are still on that subject. My bad.
Was that you? Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah, it does kind of sound like a bird.
Okay.
Then, at around the 24-minute mark, while standing around
It is out in
one of the asylum's rooms, Ghosty proceeds to
abandoned
hear a truly
areas.
terrifying sound.
I think.
Hey, movement over there now. Oh,
you hear it?
that?
Where's it coming from though? Sounds like okay. Oh hell no. Yo, no. No.
What?
No. Oh hell no. Yo, no.
What happened?
No.
I need
These windows
context.
are blocked. There's no animals in here. No. That ran towards us.
If all of this wasn't terrifying enough as it is, there's one last scare that Ghosty and company are in for. It happens at around the 29-minute mark,
Alright,
when
no
Ghosty
context.
plays a voice recorder. What he hears back is very eerie.
Coming.
Despite being well known for his videos on urban exploration, I think it's safe to say that Ghosty probably won't be making a second trip to this particular building, and honestly, who can blame him? Let's just hope that we eventually get an answer as to who or what was in the asylum that day. A man named Simon Newcomb posted a video to his YouTube channel on November 1st, 2020, and provides a bit of context in the description of the video, writing, quote, "A friend of my daughter shot this and reckons after they got home, they saw something disappear in the background. This was shot at the haunted Wistman Wood, near Princetown in..."
Yeah, that could be. I heard like a bunch of noises, but they really didn't like say anything. So like it sounded like a bunch of stuff fell. That's why I didn't really say anything, because I don't know the context.
in Devon. Let's take a look.
Walking for like an hour now. It is pissing it down. These two are doing my head in. It's getting dark. It's really hot.
Oh,
I have no idea where the dog is. What?
I just saw that.
Sure enough, if you look carefully behind where the man is talking, you can make out what appears to be some kind of a dark figure in the background, that then ducks out of view as soon as it notices that it's being filmed. At the time of the video's recording, nobody noticed anything out of the ordinary, but they were surely terrified for their lives upon re-watching the video a bit later on, and noticing whatever it was that they filmed that day. This video just goes to show you that sometimes creepy and perhaps evil things are lurking all around us, and that no matter how much we think it, we are truly never 100% safe.
So I have two things here. One, that was an actual person that was just hanging around, was looking, and then saw the camera and then ducked below. Or it could just be like another child like faking it, like saying like his big brother, like, hey, I need you to go over here and, you know, talk, or while I'm talking to have the camera on, I want you to quickly duck. And yeah, I know they're like, freaking out about the whole, oh wow, there was actually someone behind us. Like they're probably just playing it up for props, you know, for clout.
A man named Matt is operating a heavy piece of machinery in this video and seems to be doing the job well. However, in just a matter of seconds, this seemingly ordinary video takes a considerably dark turn that you probably won't see coming. Watch this.
Anyway, it's pretty cool. What the hell? No. No, 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 no. Wait, there's nothing there.
Wait, what? Oh.
It's at this point in which Matt is absolutely convinced that he has run a person over, stating that nothing else would cause the loader to react that violently. He keeps uttering the word no over and over again, probably scared out of his mind that he's just run someone over and caused serious harm to them. He then exits the loader and proceeds to check if the individual is okay. However, upon checking, he doesn't see anyone. When he checks the monitor, he notices that there is a person or some kind of paranormal entity that shows up on the screen. If you look carefully, you can see the figure briefly moving at the bottom of the frame. It is seemingly moving right towards the cameraman.
Oh,
After
that's
this,
creepy.
Matt got away from that spot as fast as possible. It's probably safe to assume that Matt will never forget this day. And that was 10 scary videos.
That okay, that one was creepy. That's a good with the whole camera switching, I'm pretty sure he cut it in between, because why would you have your camera? Well, that really depends on like what's happening. Like they might need to have cameras on them for any sort of purposes, but yeah, that's basically what I think of it. What I think of it? No. That's what I think anyways.
That's like some Batman.
But yeah, the guy getting run over. It's either very, very well done, or that's an actual thing.
Shit right there. Someone's on the phone with the ops.
Now I'm watching some like abandoned exploring in Chicago. I don't know where this is in Chicago. Might need to tell my Chicago friend about this.
Right now, they saw our flashlight. Guys, we got out just in time. The cops are looking for me. Oh my god, my friend just saved my life.
Saved
Hey
your
guys,
life.
it's Ryan Midwest. Today, we're going to be exploring some places in Chicago. We're going to be going to a church, a skyscraper, and an abandoned school.
Skyscraper?
You'll want to see what happens for those. Almost got caught again, I know. But today, we're going to be doing something a little different. Few different places, a little mix-up of things. So make sure you stay tuned.
How many of those shown in video? Oh. Why can't they go to a Burger King? Listen, do you want them to die? Do you really want them to die and stop creating content? If they went to a Burger King, there's no way they're leaving.
A gate here.
Ooh, pretty. This must be from a church.
That's so cool. Those chandeliers are massive.
Man, with how much religious buildings are raking in, like it's a wonder, like, why is everything super fancy looking? I remember going to Like I used to go to church. At least I was forced to go to church. Yeah, I was burning the entire time, but as soon as like I even at that place it was just mediocre. It wasn't like this fancy. Wanna know what else is massive? What? What's massive?
This place is pretty.
Bunch of Bible books.
Christmas trees in here.
Aw, thank you, Nymph.
See where this goes.
Thank you for your support and support and appreciation for me.
Damn, I don't have a flashlight.
Time to use your phone flashlight. Making sure there's no cameras. I think they are using the phone flashlight. What is downstairs?
It's like the underneath of the church. Store all their chairs in here. All these things.
Explodes. Rec room, possibly. Oh yeah. Yeah, they have rec rooms.
It's just the way back up. It's really interesting that a small building on top has such a big, large basement. So lights on in here. When it went off, it died at 11:58.
Seems like a lot of stuff's being wasted here.
There's anything in the fridge. Ooh. Oh, shit smell bad, bro.
Oh.
We ended up finding the light switch. We'll come back down here a little bit. I guess look around again. It's actually bright out now. It's pretty cool. I wonder what this was used for. Like a second church below it.
Silent Hills T. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
By the way, I seen these guys in on TikTok.
Dangerous asbestoids may cause cancer, damage the lungs. We're respirate. We're good enough.
Oh, come on.
You know, apparently my friend got all the lights turned on now.
Warning label?
She has light making some backroom noises.
You mean suggestion label?
Oh, the piano. No! It doesn't work. What? What is back here? Rip. That's not scary at all.
Halloween stuff. Remember when Christians were against Halloween? Christians? Catholics?
Oh, at least back upstairs.
Is that where the warning label's at?
Bro, this is how you get the best shots. Come on. Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh. Man, you are...
Gotta get down on me. Yeah, people vandalize this. Fire extinguisher, but look at all these robes here.
Gotta get down. Why, you were almost caught?
Yeah, they spray that everywhere. Damn.
So do they have like silent alarms here?
Alright guys, we're exploring this school now. Oh man, I checked every window. Ended up finding this one open. But the crazy thing is that it's completely flooded. I don't know if it's worth it.
Aw, and you don't even have boots on.
Everywhere.
This is a kind of a bad idea, dude. How flooded is this? It's not that flooded, but like your shoes are gonna be filled with unknown stuff.
Fuck.
You know, it's a good thing I wore boots. Are you gonna use bricks as... Yeah, you are. And you're gonna slide around, aren't you? Yep, you're gonna slide around.
Crazy. Oh shit.
Thank you, dude. That was a little bit loud.
I have to get my friend in.
Well, if you get your friend in, then... Will it trigger an alarm?
Cameras too. Apparently there's super high-tech motion detectors that will take a picture of you and instantly send it to the cops.
Well, you better hurry on and do your thing.
Oh man, it looked like active equipment. I was scared.
It's some nice music.
Flashlight either. I can't forget the way I came. I already forgot.
Nope, you're right.
Okay, it's over here.
Yeah, it's where that messed up part is.
That's the HVAC. Holy shit! I just had so much debris blown in from my face. Oh, hope I don't get blinded.
Sorry about that. Just had to do something on the side there. Oh.
Why is there dirt in here?
Why is there dirt? Nothing caved in.
This place.
Well, here's the thing. If there's like motion detectors and like cameras to send to the cops, then why is there dirt here? This makes no sense unless the school is being used for something else.
There's a door right here, but I think it's locked.
Can you not lock it from the inside?
Yeah, it's bolted shut right here.
Ah.
I checked for cameras. I think we're good.
Well, there's like a pile of dirt there.
Don't you remember to get out of here?
You would think.
Trying to find a way in for my friend.
Friends probably like texting and like,
It's locked too. People right outside. Oh my god, it's fucking bolted in, dude.
oh, it's actually bolted.
Damn. Fuck. Bro, what is going on? Why is there a hole there?
What is happening in this area?
Oh, I should go over here.
Oh, that's why there's dirt. But like, what is happening with the little square in the area?
Camera right there. Hopefully it's not on. I don't know what that noise is, but oh my god. Every single door. Uh-oh.
Guys, we got out just in time. The cops are looking for me.
So here's the question. It's bolted from the inside. Does that mean they left through the door? Or not through the door, through the window? Or maybe through the hole in the floor? Is there something? That's something going on. Like, there's a reason why there's bunch of motion cable or motion cameras bolted from the inside, especially inside. Like how, like, I understand the outside, but like, how would they bolt it from the inside? Unless they had another way out. So, but I believe it's not the window they were going out of. Because that's just, maybe it sounds like it does sound like a good horror story. But I'm just having a bunch of theories, like there's something big going on in that school, or maybe it's a front for something. Or maybe I'm just like making a whole bunch of theories up and it's nothing. But like that hole is it's something. Like there's something going on. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. But yeah, the hole, like it's perfectly square. There's like dirt being dug up. And why I asked, like, why is there dirt here? And then seeing the hole. Yeah, something's up. Whole bunch of nothing. I mean, from the outside looking in, yeah. But from the inside, there is a whole bunch of something.
Oh my god, my friend just saved my life. He told me to leave the building. They're going in. Oh my god, you're so clutch, bro. Dude, oh my god. So what I did was I stopped recording, okay? And I called my buddy saying like there's no way in. And then he was like, yo, cops just pulled up. I'm like, whatever, they're probably not doing anything. He's like, they're parked. And we're like, wait, really? And they turned their lights off, so I'm like, fuck. He's like, you gotta go, dude, right now. So like I started sprinting out. I found the way, luckily. Remember I said I almost forgot? I found it. I was shuffling on the bricks again to get out of the water. didn't get my feet wet, jumped over the roof, ran out, and like jumped over like a fence. It was crazy. And then I got back to the car and we dipped. And then we just drove by now and he's right there. So we just made it out. Oh my God, bro. This is why you should always have a spotter, guys. Alright guys, we came back a few hours later. We see all these cameras on the top. I bet you that's what got us caught. We're thinking of going back in, but I don't think it's worth it. There's literally 4 on each corner. But yeah, I don't think we're going back in, but we're just checking it out to see if our entrance was sealed. Of course it's not. Fucking dumbasses don't know what they're doing.
Probably after seeing this this video, then yeah.
Guys, we just went into an abandoned mall in the middle of the city.
Ooh.
Holy crap. This is crazy.
What the heck? What the? I thought it was gonna be like a 2-story mall. This what? Why would they waste this building? This is ginormous.
This is crazy.
So first, second,
Skyscraper.
the skyscraper mall? Okay, well, to be fair, it's not as big as I thought it would be. It's like a 4 square, but still, like, why would they waste this building? Something must be either wrong with it.
What got going up these stairs, no? Is that a window outside?
Oh, they must have went out from through underground there.
It's crazy. Damn, that's cool. This is beautiful. I can't use my flashlight though because it literally will show the entire outside. But here, look how high we are. I can't even see the bottom. Oh, fuck. It's insane. Oh, it's a climb though.
Have the heavy duty
It's
flashlights.
like some Batman shit right there.
Well, I mean, they did say they didn't bring flashlights the first time, so I guess they brought them in from their car.
Oh man, it doesn't open. Disappointing.
Ah,
We're so high up right now. It's crazy. All these shops right here.
and
It's
you
kind
could
of a random video, just a bunch of things put together, but we were at this place, so might as well explore the city, you know, in Chicago.
right.
Might as well
It's just-
explore it all.
Really sad how there's a whole bunch of abandoned buildings.
Bro, one of the doors was unlocked. I turn my flashlight.
What if it lags?
Even if there are, I don't think they're good.
This is beautiful. All the Christmas lights. I don't see any popo below us, so I think we're good. This is insane.
You know, I went to when I moved out, I went to one of the bigger cities, especially like Tulsa. And as much as I enjoyed it, I didn't really vibe with it. Like, the city is just too loud for me. I couldn't make it. Like, I'm not a city boy. I'm a country boy. But I do love the aesthetics of just this like the city life, you know? And I think that's how you should probably live, is like just admiring aesthetics. Like, this is just like This is just, I don't know, it's pretty. It's super pretty. Especially at night.
Someone's on the phone with the ops right now. They saw our flashlight.
Everything is edible at least
No, they
once.
definitely
You are
care that they're
right.
not partying.
I don't think it's worth it.
Oh, yeah, hurry up. I'm trying to record some of this stuff. This is cool. Look at this. There's signs. I'm ready to dip. Look at Chicago's place. They're all freaking out. We gotta go because someone was on the phone with the cops, we think. I was in the room over. They were in
Are
the
you sure?
skyscraper right next to us. But I think so. We're gonna dip.
Are you sure it's not just coincidence?
It's beautiful.
So much for not shining a flashlight on there. And those really are heavy duty.
What was bro doing the last 10 minutes? Guys, we've acquired a group of urbexers. We're about to go explore some subways with like.
You have now acquired a raid of urbexes. You are going to raid into a subway.
Fucking 12 people. This is not gonna end well. Oh boy. Downtown Chicago.
Yeah,
Urbex,
if the cops
bro.
are coming.
Here we go. Alright guys, we're just rotating to our next bando. We got the squad in the trunk. Don't worry about it. Downtown Chicago. This is
Oh, that's fun.
Bro, we just found some crazy tunnels, bro. The whole gang. Bro, I don't know where we're at, but don't ask me. We climbed down some random fucking drain.
This is making my lungs itchy. Just seeing this.
Just crazy. So muddy, bro. Fuck. Nothing even down here. So the flooded nastiness. Alright guys, we made it to the top of a tower. It was a pretty sketchy climb up here, but we made it. We're gonna end the video off here. I hope you enjoyed this type of content. Did a few random places all in one night. Yeah, let me know how you guys like it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
I wonder what they're saying down here. Ain't jump scare with this one. No, there's no jump scares. Oh, I believe that. I have yet to listen to more Magnus archives because I've just been going through my list of like 570 videos that I have just stuck there, and the majority of them are like an hour long. Encounter while we're built here. Wow. I'll save that for later. See what that's all about. At night with flashlights, creatures hide in the dark. You dare bring a light into my lair. Wait, 10:35.
Feeling about this place.
Yeah, you're trespassing. I get to use earphones at work, so I usually tend to listen to random stuff. Huh, that's fair. I was gonna ask, what kind of stuff do you do, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to say it on stream, but... Or unless you mention it, but yeah, I'm just... Like, I do the same too, except I can actually watch YouTube videos and not, like, listen. Oh, there's another that I wanted. Another thing for
Sometimes
Or
games
like urban stuff. I make love to the sweet stone. Wait, to the sweet stone? I'm a little confused about that.
die. This could be because a studio stops updating it and the community loses interest. Other times it's just the community deciding to move on to something new. The most common reasons I've seen is community backlash due to changes or lack of content.
Also, this is like exploring dead games. Or dead and abandoned games. I do enjoy these. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Content over time. Sometimes, though, it is completely at the fault of the company, as we'll see with a few games we'll be covering today. The dying video game, website, and chat room has been an interesting subject that I've been slowly covering lately. What is it that's so interesting about a place that users and players used to inhabit becoming completely empty? I like to think that it's the feeling of exploring history, albeit not so ancient history. It's the fun of exploring abandoned places, but in the digital form. There's also a nostalgia that hangs in the air of places once inhabited. The feeling of seeing a website that you used to go to daily, or maybe going back to a game that you played a lot as a child. There's a nostalgia to exploring these often forgotten online places. At the heart of it all are games and interactive worlds. The worlds provide the perfect landscape for this form of exploration, digital archaeology, or sometimes internet archaeology. Without taking too much more time, let's start exploring some of the forgotten worlds, or in some cases, worlds lesser known to the internet collective. The first stop on our expedition is a game that I remember playing a bit when it first came out. It's a game type that we haven't had the chance yet to explore on this channel. It's a driving game, which normally has little to no exploration.
Oh.
Well, exploration was one of the selling points of Ubisoft's The Crew. The Crew is an open-world driving game with vehicles to buy, cities to explore, challenges to complete, and a story to play through.
Oh, I love this game. I love the fact that you can listen. This game you can actually keep your own like your starter car all the way to like the ending, and you can just keep upgrading that car or whatever. Like I was keeping Camaro, one of the newer ones, and just kept on upgrading it. Like I love that car. Like you can raid with it, you can go off-roading with it, drag race, whatever. Like it does everything. I'm just kind of sad they removed that from the second game.
It was released by Ubisoft in 2014 for the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. It also had a PC release that could be played on Ubisoft's PC app. Well, we'll cover that later. The game focused entirely on being able to explore a condensed version of the US. You can see several major cities including Los Angeles, Detroit, New York, Las Vegas, and Miami. There are a plethora of smaller cities to explore, and almost every region of the US is represented here. You can explore the West Coast, or maybe take a trip through the bayou. There are forests, mountains, swamps, and just about every biome for you to accidentally crash your car in. The game was rather popular, but there was one major problem with this game, which is also its greatest selling point. The game is online only, and I think you know where I'm going with this. The Crew was designed so you can explore the world and complete challenges with other players and your friends.
Of course,
but since the game is online only, there was no way that Ubisoft would keep this game around forever, especially not with the sequels and spin-offs they could be making based on it. Ubisoft announced that on March 31st of 2024, they would be shutting down the Crew's servers forever. This is the tragedy of online-only games, and an issue that game preservationists are trying to tackle day to day. It might not be so bad that the game was shutting down, since the sequel—
Yeah, Nintendo. Calling you out.
uses the same map, but with updates and more cars, except for the fact they will be removing the 20-hour story mode. So the single-player story that only exists in this online game is being shut down with the servers. If you bought this game physically for your console, it'll become completely useless following March 31st. The story is the primary reason for playing the game, with few players actively online, which is a tragedy. The story of the shutdown is only half of it though. let's take a look at the game itself. I picked up a copy used for my Xbox One from eBay. It came a few days later, but I wasn't able to play it since I was still sick from whatever I got before Christmas. When I finally did start up the game, I was thrown right in with the message that stated that the servers were having issues and to expect online instabilities. It was almost a poetic start to my exploration. I played the game over 3 days. The first day I started the story, where you play as a guy that just watched his brother get murdered right in front of him. Then you go to jail and are eventually let out by an agent that wants to work with you in catching your brother's murderer and other members of their gang. The story was something you'd expect from a racing game or a Fast and Furious movie. High-speed settings and lots of cop chases. Pretty fun stuff overall, but not what I was interested in.
And as soon as the second game comes out, they kind of threw everything of that away and in favor of just like your typical racing, like, oh, I need fame. It's kind of out of the blue. But I mean, it's different, but it's just out of the blue.
Perhaps I would go back and finish the story before the 31st. It would be my only chance to experience it after all. I got to pick my first car. I picked a Nissan because it was the first real car I owned. Not my favorite, but it holds some sentimental value for me. Then I started to explore the map. The map has to be unlocked by driving through unmarked sections. Once you reach the edge of a new part of the map, you unlock a square of it. This means that you just need to drive around to unlock the rest of the map. At first I decided I would drive east to New York, since the game started me in Detroit. It wouldn't take long, but I've read that it takes 45 minutes to drive from one end of the map to the other. A drive that would feel slow and boring unless you happen to see other players. The world of the game was blurry as I raced by, going over 100 miles per hour down every road I could. I raced off the main road and onto the highway to start my drive towards New York. There are loads of NPC cars blocking just about every junction. I raced past tons of these NPC vehicles. Most of them looked the same, which I kind of expected from a Ubisoft game.
Of course.
It had rained during my travels and the roads remained wet. They didn't seem to bother my driving at all though. They visually just looked like puddles clouding the road. There wasn't even a different driving sound for moving on the rain-covered roads. Ubisoft really knows how to sell you a believable world. As you drive through the different areas, you'll see challenges, but most of them aren't very fun. I did find one that I liked where you had to stay on a dirt road for as long as possible. It was fun, but my car couldn't handle it. Definitely needed to change cars, but I had nowhere near enough money to buy a new ride. I took a detour off the highway and drove through a little town hidden in the trees. There was farm equipment, some houses, and I saw the only other player that I would see that day. He drove by quickly, and when I went to turn around and follow him, he'd already sped off, totally ignoring me. As if
Oh,
he
there's
couldn't
two
see
players.
me. The little town had little to offer, so I fast traveled back to the highway and struggled driving around with all the new NPC vehicles littering the road. I tried to run this bus off the road, but I couldn't. Every car I ran to actually just seemed to stick to me and keep going, only slowing me down a little. There were a few that I knocked off the road though. I made my way to New York for the first time and saw that the city had its suburbs and downtown represented. It didn't appear to be exactly how it was in real life, but they tried, I guess. There are
I mean, speaking for the whole dirt path thing, he needs to like unlock it. That's why he needs to like he needs to go through the story in order to unlock it, but he's just exploring everything before like they leave. So yeah, he doesn't necessarily need to buy a car, he just needs to unlock the ability to change to off-road.
There are a lot of areas to explore in New York, but I decided to go back on the road and go south. I wanted to see New Orleans and the Bayou, hoping for some interesting sights. I made it and drove down this dirt path that took me alongside the water. Dirt was starting to cake on my vehicle and muddy my screen. These are cool details, but they didn't really matter to me that much, and actually made it hard to focus on the road, though that's probably the point. I made it to a ranch house, but saw no one was there. It was completely empty, save for a rusty car in the back and a few on the other side. There were a few older style homes that I found. This one actually had people at it too. I destroyed their fence and then ran over
Really?
their table before leaving. You can't really hurt NPCs in this game. They always avoid damage somehow. I continued my trip into a little town up
Well,
the road
yeah.
and found a rich looking house with some maze gardens. The gardens had stone statues at the center, but nothing else. That was the end of day one. Not a bad start, got to see 2 major cities, and explore the world a bit. I had an idea of what I was looking for on day 2.
Wait, can you
but that
go
would have
through
to
the
wait.
hedge mazes? Wow, you
I
can.
needed to charge my controller and take a break. Day 2 came and it was time to make my way to LA. From where I was, it would take a long time driving just to see coast to coast. I was located in the south, so it wasn't exactly a coast to coast drive, but still, it would take a while. I started by driving up into Dallas, as I wanted to unlock a bit of the map before heading west. I've never been to Dallas, so I have no idea what it's supposed to look like. Though all of the major cities in the game kind of look the same, only the smaller
The
ones got to
intrusive
keep some of their
thoughts.
personality. It might be because Ubisoft is a French company, but I'm not sure how they went about designing their cities, really. I drove to some oil drums, I guess a monument of Texas, and then kept driving past them. Each city had markers that they wanted you to check out. Some of these were very cool tourist destinations, but for some reason Texas's were just the oil fields. Not exactly my first tourist destination. They're pretty out of the way too. I had to drive over dirt roads just to get to them. I took a road in southern Texas as the highway only wanted to take me south. I would need to merge onto another road in order to head west. I was also noticing something odd. On this day too, I was seeing less NPC vehicles crowding the roads. Now this could be a realism thing. I was in New York, so of course there were thousands of vehicles everywhere. I've driven through Texas once and I was on the highway forever without really seeing any cars as I drove to New Mexico.
Gee, I wonder. It's almost like Texas is like you go 3 hours one way and you're still in Texas. That's how it works.
Only semis seemed to occupy the roads with me. Seeing less cars made it easier to go top speed for my entire drive, but also made it feel more lonely. I started to pick up some challenges on the way, which give you car parts. I would auto-equip any that I unlocked. I never bothered to read what they did or anything. After a while of driving, like 15 minutes, I finally found another town. I was in El Paso, which I've also never been to. I can imagine this town is more like its real-world counterpart, though. There are a lot of Mexican flourishes in the building designs and the aesthetic of the town. The small towns seem to have had more love and care put into them for some reason. I got out of El Paso and continued my drive west, but took a detour towards the mountains. I hadn't seen the terrain yet and was curious. So I took a bit of a trip up this dirt road and planned to see if I could have my car get some airtime by driving off of a mountain. Though, on my way to the mountains, I ended up in a small coastal town. I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. I drove over the beach and found nothing of interest. It was a pretty little town, if a little empty. I took another bit of the highway while it rained heavily on me and noticed something odd for the first time. There were now 0 cars on the road. This was near the end of day 2 of my exploration. Somehow, as the days were going on, the highways and towns were getting less and less populated. It's almost like the game world was starting to reflect the real state of the game itself. The game was dying. There were hardly any players, but now even the NPCs and vehicles were leaving too.
Well, there's a player right
Before I
there.
felt kind of lonely, like driving through a game that had useless bots following you for realism alone. Now it felt empty. I was speeding down roads that warned of cops, but I never saw a single one. I got a message about avoiding other vehicles, but that would be impossible as you'd need to have other cars around to avoid them. It was turning into a lonely drive down barren roads, save for the occasional name tag of a supposed other player in the vicinity. I finally made it to the west coast and the mountains I was trying to find earlier. I drove up and did my best to crash my car and destroy it.
I don't think
Sadly,
you
I wasn't
can.
able to. I narrowly avoided every tree, not trying to, and brought
So, fun fact about car destruction in video games and how you see branded cars like this Nissan right here. I think it's Nissan. Like Harley gets destroyed and Harley gets scratched. I think it gets scratched, but like you don't see any dents or whatnot. It's because they don't want to like have it. They don't want their brand to like be destroyed, or like it's bad business, so they don't really have any destroyed cars because it would be really bad for them to have that on. I know it sucks because you want to see destruction in cars and whatnot, but it's like, yeah, you can have our cars, just don't like ruin them, don't like destroy them.
my beaten and bruised car to a stop by this rock. It wasn't going to happen, so I drove back to the main road and continued to LA. The sun was just starting to set as I made my way into the city. It was kind of pretty in a way, but also strange as I didn't know they had a day-night cycle in the game. The daytime hours last forever, while you get very little of the actual nighttime. Though there are stars above as you drive, which is nice in its own way. As I drove into South LA, I saw something I hadn't seen for hours. I saw actual other players. There were 4 of them. I saw them zip by as I got myself stuck while trying to do a jump. I have no idea what they thought as they just seemed to ignore me. I eventually caught up to them and drove next to them. I tried my best to interact with them, but somehow I was ignored again. The players that I'd encountered had all treated me the same as well, as if I was invisible.
I mean, that's what players do. Like, they don't, like, especially if you're on Xbox, they're not gonna like stop by and it's like, hi, you seem to be here for the end of the world party. No, I think it's like they're just like, oh, another person, like just as you.
Maybe I was. It felt like every player I'd seen was more of a ghost than the NPCs. They were clearly playing the game, but they seemed more like ghosts of its past than people in its present. The sun had finally set, and all I could see above was the moon. I drove around with nothing but streetlights for company and saw how different this game was at night. Night driving has always been a fascination for me. I'm not sure what it is about driving at night, but everything feels quieter, more still, and more haunting. The usually busy streets were now less busy to the extent of no other activity. I drove outside of LA and found myself taking in the ambiance of the night. It was a bit creepy, in the way that traveling at night can be.
Well, there's a reason why it's so quiet. It's because, like, the rest of the world is so, like, it's sleeping. And I do take note of this since I work nights. It is very quiet. Like, there's no cars around, there's no like factories being worked on, like no one's chatting around, no music playing. It's just you and the wilderness. And even still, like, even if it's morning, like, animals are gonna wake up, they're gonna do their thing, and it's gonna be filled with nothing but noises.
I was totally alone on these streets. Just me, the sounds of the car, some crickets, and the occasional sound of a plane flying overhead. I felt like I could have any manner of creature creeping out of the woods near the road to attack me. Maybe I'd see a skinwalker or a knot deer. The possibilities felt endless. But all I saw were a few regular deers and a coyote. That was really all for my exploration of the crew. Well, except for one last point of interest I needed to see for myself. There's an Easter egg in the game, one that takes you to the southern section of the US. I made my way over to hill country, driving through the night. The roads were more empty and devoid of life than a single-player Minecraft server. The drive wasn't so bad. I even stopped in the town before driving up the path. By the time I'd arrived, a morning fog had set in.
Oh, it's this.
I didn't know exactly where to go for this Easter egg, but I knew it was here somewhere. As the morning
It's
fog
with the
faded,
newspaper
an
thing and the...
overcast sky greeted me.
Is it?
It began to rain, which added to the ambiance of the secret
Yes!
I was trying to record. I drove into the woods, crested a small hill, and saw a lone vehicle. Driving up closer, I see that a car had been abandoned and a newspaper was floating in the sky. Driving up close to it, you can read what the header in the paper says. World ending, with text underneath that is extremely hard to make out. It's a bit creepy, but what's worse is on the right side of the screen. To the right are a pair of legs sticking out of a bush. It appears that someone has decided to take this newspaper's headline to heart. And they'd also decided to get a head start before the world did it for them. This is such an oddity. This type of Easter egg existing here feels right.
I thought they...
Games hide this stuff in them all the time. It's what makes them so fun to try and find.
I thought they removed that.
But taking into context what's happening with the game and everything, this is more than poetic. More than ironic, even. This NPC knew that the world was ending, and decided to go before the game world did. At the end of things, we should have known that Ubisoft would eventually shut down the game's servers. It's been almost 10 years since its release, but this Easter egg has been here since the start. Clearly they were warning us of its end before we got too attached. Now what exactly do they want us to do about it? The Crew is a game that I think has a lot going for it, but lacked a lot of features that the two sequels now have. The game may be dying, but at least the world is still alive. for the most part. There are a lot of things that will be lost when this game goes offline forever. The story, the exclusive vehicles, and this Easter egg. The secret was altered in the sequel, removing some of its darker aspects, like the body. I enjoyed exploring the crew. It was an interesting look into a game that blends the open world with a massive map. All that's left to do is to make the drive from coast to coast. Moving on to our next game, we have an MMO of sorts called Continent of the Ninth Seal. It's an action MMO that comes to us from South Korea. I found this game while browsing Reddit for abandoned games. It was a recommendation, but I wasn't expecting much of it. There are a lot of games that come from Asia that die in the West. For one reason or another, these games come out and receive very little support. They just sort of exist in a vacuum where there's a fan base in the East, but none in the West. C9, as the game is now known, is a dungeon crawling MMO, kind of. It falls into a lot of early 2010s MMO trappings, and looks very similar to other dead MMOs. The game was published by South Korean studio Webzen and Volof, and published by Volof. This all is according to Steam. The game is an action-adventure MMO, kind of, hybrid similar to games like Black Desert Online, but a better comparison would be Dungeon Fighters Online, for a reason I'll be discussing later. The first thing I want to mention about this game is the number of players currently online. On Steam, there are 0 players online, except for me, so there's 1 now. That is according to Steam, as I saw some chat messages appear in the chat box, but never saw any of those players. The max amount of players that play daily according to MMOpopulation.com is 185. That number will fluctuate, as when I was playing it said there were 10 players online, though I never saw any of them. These numbers might appear abysmal on the surface, but considering most of the game can be played solo, it's not the end of the world for them. Let's talk about the actual game now. Firstly, you'll need to make an account and then a character. I usually like to run either a speedy character like a thief or a rogue, or a melee magic character. In this case, the Spellblade seems right. Clicking on her, I saw that she was actually called a Witchblade, and the game did the thing that a lot of Eastern MMOs do. It made the classes gender-based. I had to play a female character, which isn't that big of a deal.
Oh yeah, there was a game that I played, Vindication, I think it's called. Used to play it a lot. Used to play it with friends a lot, and it's always like the gender's always tied to the classes, or the sex is always tied to classes, and I didn't like it, but I couldn't really do anything about it.
To me, really. Though while I was
sorry, romance girls in a Persona, and I'm reloading save see all they're seeing, and yes, I feel I mean, you can always just look online.
Making her, I realized this game definitely wanted to reach a
but you probably
want
to look at it for yourself, though. It's just fine.
Character creation tools were limited, and no matter what, you were making a Barbie, so to speak. She was perfect in every way, and the other faces didn't change much. It wasn't until I started the game that I realized exactly how sexualized they made the character. From the movement to the clothing choice, it was 100% what I expected from a South Korean game.
Yeah, I can see her entire butt crack from here.
Just like how Black Desert Online has insanely perfect looking characters, this game makes you have a beautiful character no matter what, which isn't really a problem, honestly. I struggle making characters attractive, which is why I usually just make an ugly character. After making a character, you have to play a tutorial that teaches you the basics. But I somehow got stuck in this main town area and just dropped the tutorial. Now I was finally ready to start the game. You start in the town that you were supposed to save in the tutorial. There are NPCs that say some of the most NPC energy dialogue I've ever heard. Other than them, the town is free for you to explore. And this is when I found out that this isn't an open world MMO like WoW, BDO, or FF14. It was an instance-based one.
Oh.
Even so, the starting town had 0 other players to interact with. I wandered the empty streets and saw just NPCs staring blankly in whichever direction they were programmed to face. I did some of the basic quests and found that they were pretty uneventful, like most MMOs early on. You just need to complete and collect as many as you could to level up your character.
Yeah, this is
MMO
MMO if I ever seen one.
This would be maybe okay if I wasn't completely alone out here. I was able to go to dungeons and collect loot, hoping to find some good-looking gear for my character, but alas, she wasn't allowed to wear any clothes. Not really, anyway. I continued to complete quests and kill mobs until I
Not
could
allowed
hopefully
to wear
explore the other
clothes.
towns. Maybe there were a few players in them. But what I found out was that you couldn't see other towns until reaching a certain level threshold, one that started at level 24 and went all the way up to 60. There were 4 other towns, but I would never see them as I was level 6, which took me an hour and a half to get to. All in all, there wasn't really much to explore anyways.
Yeah, that kind of sucks when you're trying to explore a bunch of like dead games and suddenly like you're like, oh, I want to look at this real quick. Oh, I have to be level 60. Right.
Just another dying MMO, but one that feels like it hasn't fully been abandoned. There are updates still coming out. The game might have an audience in South Korea, but the NA audience has been apparently reduced to nothing, with not much to explore. The only other topic worth touching on would be the dungeons you have to explore and complete. They are very basic, at least the starting ones, which is kind of to be expected, though they were literally just hallways that led to nothing. You can complete each dungeon with combos and such to increase your score from D to S, I believe. At the end of the day, though, there really isn't much to see. Maybe I'll have to return to it so I can see what the other towns are like, but if they're as dead as the starting one, I don't think it'll be really worth my time. I say we get to our next search. Our next game takes us to a familiar looking layout. Virtual Paradise is a game that was heavily inspired by Active Worlds, the game I explored in my first video of this series. Active Worlds was actually the game that made me want to keep looking for hidden worlds within the internet. When I heard about this game's existence, I was immediately excited for the possibilities. Before we really delve into Virtual Paradise, I want to make it clear that this isn't a dead game. This is an online sandbox game that was created for the community that uses it. It never had thousands of players and is now reduced. No, it's pretty much always had a small number of users. That's exactly how many VP was created for, just for those small few.
Really?
VP was created around 2005. The game was created by Edwin, who leads the entire project.
Wait, VView?
He also updates the game still to
VP.
this day, with a new update dropping as recently as the 1st of
that's
January
live.
2024. I knew very little about Virtual Paradise before starting my exploration. The wiki doesn't list some of the information I was looking for, such as the release date. I did find this information, though, through exploring the game. There's also a Discord and an official forum for those interested. Since I had little to go off of, I decided it was best to just jump in. This meant that every discovery would be something new to me, which can be really exciting but also be really slow moving. Finding points of interest might be rough, but we'll take our time and see. I loaded up the world and was met with an interface that I've seen before. It was an almost perfect recreation of the window from Active Worlds. You had the chat below, the options to the left, as well as the many different worlds to explore. There were 19 to explore, which was less than available in Active Worlds. I loaded in and saw an interesting LZ, or landing zone. It was a city at night, which was pretty spot on for the vibe I was looking for while exploring. The buildings, trees, and grass textures immediately jumped out at me. They were leagues better than what was available on Active Worlds. Something that also jumped out at me was that I was greeted by another player. Graystripe was their name, and they were very friendly. I introduced myself and explained that I was just doing some exploring, which led to them giving me a tour of the world.
Oh.
This would be the first time during my exploration where someone directly walked me around the world. I wasn't expecting a tour, as I usually like to explore alone, but I wouldn't say no to the offer either. I explored the main area for a bit, called Blizzard, before being teleported to a new town. This town was called Pine County, and had a very familiar feeling to it. It felt like I'd just walked into Silent Hill or Twin Peaks or Alan Wake. The town was nestled in tall pine trees, surrounding it almost like a veil. I started on a road that looked vaguely familiar, but it was most likely just the vibe the town gave off. I started my trek around the town, trying my best to capture the aesthetic of the place.
Oh.
There was little to no sound, which added to the lonely feeling, but sound could also have made it a bit more ominous. There appeared to be a bunch of police cars, fire trucks, and pedestrian vehicles blocking the end of the road, likely the way out of here. I continued exploring until I found it, the place that I was always meant to explore, whether in real life or the virtual one. It was Waffle House.
Waffle House?
As the prophecy has foretold, I could not escape this place. All jokes aside, this is a perfect recreation of a Waffle House. My new friend guided me to the Waffle House and showed me the controls for the game, which were pretty easy to use.
Interesting.
You can run, walk, fly, and pass through objects, which made getting around super easy.
What's with the little dude on the
House,
oven?
I saw absolute chaos, which is the norm for these kind of places.
Oh, jeez.
I saw some NPCs chilling and the dog from Silent Hill 2 for some
Freaking this over here. This reminds me of the late 2000s, especially on Tumblr.
these kind of places. I saw some NPCs chilling and the dog from Silent Hill 2 for some reason.
Why
There also
is
seemed to be a man that was being sacrificed at the center of the kitchen area. I left through the back door of the building and was met with a gruesome sight. There was a man on the ground being attacked by what looked like a zombie. The NPCs surrounding the scene all reacted differently. The attack was slow going, but still a bit ominous.
what
No
is
blood.
happening?
Leaving the Waffle House in the distance, I caught some shots of the town. It perfectly reflected the kind of place I was hoping to find when making an account for this game. Pine County is actually part of the main Blizzard server, so my chances of just stumbling upon it were pretty slim. Luckily, I had a guide, but there's still more to see, so let's continue. Next, I was taken to the Google Pyramid. This giant pyramid was carved out in its own area. It's pretty impressive, but it was even bigger on the inside.
Google Pyramid?
The second we entered, the reception desk took to us. The same Shiba from before was here to greet us, along with his cat. Directly to the right was a blood-stained wall and a head without a body.
Why?
The other NPC was quickly
Why is there a furry head here? Bruh. Alright, buddy, again, see if I can find something to eat. My dude, go eat. I'm surprised you haven't eaten yet. Get off of Persona and find food.
mopping it, but I had no idea what this was supposed to represent. I guess it's just another accident on the job. Big tech companies don't have time to care about every employee that is murdered, I suppose. I was then guided further into the building. Once inside, I was shown a picture of a majority of the regulars for the game. There are 14 members that I could see, which was a majority of them, I was told.
Oh, great strike.
Not all of them, though, which means there were more likely around 20 players that use this game. Everyone here seems so close, and really enjoyed the freedom of creation the game allowed. The developer was also shown in the image, Edwin. All of their avatars looked slightly different, but a few had a sense that they came from the same game.
Mods, force feed this man.
I walked back around the town and caught more glimpses of the world. There were genuinely pretty shots that I could get. The models were equivalent to a PS2 game, and that aesthetic worked very well in its favor. I actually found myself wanting to create something in this world. Maybe someday. Next we explored some of the shops available in the town. The first was a gas station that had a strange sight going on around its corner. There were two NPCs in full body armor looking down the alley at a girl smoking and holding a shotgun. Beneath her feet was a bloodstain. If you approach her, you can see that she is quivering. Next I was taken to the homes of my guide, enjoyed by another member. Their name was Nekohime, and they were also a regular. This also led to Edwin saying hello, which means I've met the dev of the game, as well as a few of the other regulars.
Oh.
The first house belonged to Greystripe and was styled in the decor of the late 80s, early 90s. It felt like it might fit that vibe well. From houses I'd seen in movies and on TV, it looked like a home straight from the era. There was even an SNES in the living room.
That's
Before we
fun.
moved into the next house, we saw a church that looked like it hadn't been used in years. I was told that it just wasn't finished, but I like to believe that whoever ran it went missing. Gotta add some story to this town to match the aesthetics. The next house we went to belonged to Nekohime. Outside, it reminded me of a 70s home with a modern flair. The inside was very modern, though. The most interesting part for me, though, was the basement. Once you enter, you'll fall into the void.
Oh.
Our next destination was Chime Rock, which was another small town. The town had a different design from Pine County. This felt more like somewhere I've seen and been to before. It all felt very familiar, and I wasn't sure exactly why.
The gas prices were back then it was $2. And now it's nearly $4. Pain, Pecco.
This was also the first town I explored during daylight. I found out how to switch from day to night and did that immediately. I grabbed some really interesting shots of the decaying buildings and the stars. It
Not a
made for a
phone
great
book?
transition piece. There were a lot of pieces here that could be considered liminal. I think that's just kind of the vibe when you move through abandoned cities in these kinds of sandbox experiences. While exploring some houses, I found one with what looked to be a murder scene. There was a neon glowing paint, but I couldn't figure out exactly what I was supposed to do with this information. I floated below and found an unused room that was definitely planned for something. I would just need to return someday to find out what. The final place I explored on my first day was a rainy town called Rainy City. I know, a little on the nose.
It's a place for heavy rain. It was that.
But it was most likely just a test for adding rain to other areas later. The rain was loud, as in there was actual sound for it. It was also very visually loud, especially when you walked through it.
Yep.
Part of the map only had half of the rain effects. It just had sound and water on the ground. It might have been an issue with my PC since it was running the game at almost 1K FPS for some reason. I had to fix that on my next visit. There was a hotel that I explored for a little bit, but here's where I would end day 1 of my exploration.
In a hotel.
I seem to have found a lot with the help of some friends I'd made, but I would definitely need to make a solo dive next. Day 2 was here, and I had a better idea of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to explore. Before I started my exploration, I ran into some of the players of the world and decided to do an on-the-spot interview.
I love how just like devs in between are just like insulting each other. Like in a fun way. It's like you suck, and like saying like something like your mom. And the players are just like being entertained by it. Like, I love that. Absolutely love that.
I needed to know more about the game before I proceeded forward. I learned that the game had been around since at least 2005. It was available in some form or another, but this was from a member and not the creator himself. The game was a solo project, which I gathered before, and was created more as a side project for fun. The game's servers were also run out of the creator's home. The community that currently resides in the game were members of Active Worlds before they left for various reasons. One of the biggest reasons was the requirement to pay in order to create things.
Oh,
These
wow.
games only pull in people who love to create and interact. Taking away half of that, or putting it behind a paywall, is a good way to lose people. The users in Virtual Paradise are a close-knit community that just love creating and hanging out. The main server, or world, that most hang out in is called Blizzard. I covered it a
So you would really need to be dedicated in this sort of thing. Got it.
bit before, but this is essentially the place to create everything. And there's plenty of space for more creations still. And each area in Blizzard feels distinct enough from the others. The default town, or the one that you start in, was created by Greystripe. It was called Somerville, and it's a great place to start if you want to explore VP. And important to note is that it was actually started in Active Worlds before being moved in 2013 to VP. There are also loads of Easter eggs and secrets to find. Most of them will be references from what I've heard. So with the interview done, I started exploring the game again. I started with a secret passageway that extended through some dark tunnels. This was created by another user that wanted to craft a story for this adventure. I was told they were experimenting with what they could create using the game's tools. The design of the area reminded me so much of early Valve games. It felt like I was
Ready Player One. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I had not watched that, believe it or not. I guess I just didn't really have the the drive to.
was traveling through a level in Half-Life. The tunnels were small and there was an NPC to talk to. The NPC had the same name as the person that was creating this experience. Interestingly, I was able to talk to this NPC, and they had actual dialogue for what I answered. I guess a lot of games have that, but it's interesting to find it here. I continued through the tunnel and found that it was just too dark to see anything. I had the game set to night the entire time, which might be why. A few lights could easily fix this, though. As you travel down the tunnels, you'll see different areas illuminated, with differing lights. There's a section where you can free fall, and seeing the different lights everywhere was actually a really cool visual. The tunnel eventually ends with a void that is meant to be expanded later. It's a cool experience to see what the game has to offer, and know that a small community is still adding to it. I next went to an area in the basement of the Google building and found a secret entrance. The wall opened with this switch and had a ladder leading down into its confines.
Looks like a keycard
Once
swipe.
at the bottom, it appears to be a homage to Portal 2 and the Ratman dens. There were even cans with beans written on them. I then ended up in a black void, my new favorite place to explore.
New favorite place.
I saw a random NPC sitting off to the side. There was also a car just sitting here. I floated past the car and toward the NPC, and clicked on them. I was then met with the only jump scare this game has ever given me and pulled into a face-to-face with this NPC. I couldn't escape him, and he didn't say a word to me. I tried to click and leave, but couldn't. Eventually I was able to escape by teleporting to the LZ. That was enough excitement for me, honestly. I wanted to never see this Baldi's Basics looking monstrosity ever again.
Right. It looks like a test
I finally
character.
decided that it was time to explore the main hub. This is where most of the game's foot traffic was going to be. So I started walking in a random direction to see what I could see. I started in a park and found some...
Ah, that sucks. I had a friend who had a similar situation. Bought Half-Life, and then like 2 days later it went on sale.
hollow buildings. It could have been a parking garage. Across the street was another building that looked like the one I'd seen before. There was a full night sky to accompany me on my exploration, too. The only thing I really saw on this path, though, were these two buildings situated next to each other. Also, there was a bit of pop in here. It wasn't long before I found my first site of interest. There was a large boat docked in some water. There was a sign that read, Hotel Titanic. It was a recreation of the Titanic, apparently imported from Active World some years ago.
I was gonna say, I do wonder what that ship is.
This is because the server that hosted the boat was taken offline, so this was done in order to preserve it. Which is something I can totally get behind, as preserving pieces of the internet is what this channel and series is all about. I explored the Titanic for a bit, but it's mostly pretty empty on the inside. It looks cool still, but lacks anything to interact with.
Wait, why does this Titanic... This reminds me of a Gmod, a TTT game that I used to play. I think this is like the same model. I don't know, but it's just giving me flashbacks.
It does make for some really good looking panning shots. This game has the tools to make that sort of thing possible. It's still a pretty impressive sight. I started taking the busy road and saw a U-Haul in the distance. It looked just like any U-Haul building I've ever seen in real life. But that's not what really caught my eye. No, that would be the mall across the street. The Palm Court, as it was called, is a turquoise building with a neon green sign. Malls are one of my favorite places to explore in video games. From Dead Rising to Zomboid and The Sims, malls are just a great setting. I was a little disappointed to see that it wasn't finished on the inside, but I loved the concept behind it and promised I'd come back to see it when it was finished. I found a gas station and started searching to see what it had. There's a working soda machine that you can drink a Coke out of. There's also another Silent Hill Shiba here, but you can interact with this one. If you click on him, you'll hear a song. I can't play the song because it's copyrighted, but it's the intro song from RWBY, the animated series created by Rooster Teeth.
Oh.
I then grabbed some visuals of the store.
Why?
The aisles looked very realistic and familiar to me, almost
I
like I've
guess an
seen this
inside
in real
joke?
life, which I probably have. I got some panning shots of Somerville and decided to check out one more place on my journey. I walked through a wall and no-clipped out of reality. Well, I'm here again. There's a bathroom area created in the game, and it's a fun bit of exploration. The sound of the buzzing lights isn't too loud, which is nice, and the look of it is very reminiscent of the first image that was on 4chan. You can explore here for a while. There are even a few points of interest to check out. The most interesting is the pool room, which oozes liminality. I can get lost in a place like this so easily. Liminal spaces are some of my favorite aesthetics that the internet has popularized. It's likely why I also enjoy games like this, as the liminal feeling can really take over and it's easy to get lost. With that, I bid farewell to my new friends and left the world. Virtual Paradise was not at all what I was expecting. I was expecting to find a virtual sandbox similar to the other two I'd already explored before. In both I had been mostly alone, just left to my own devices, and to take a look at the world that people used to explore. That was fine for those, but here I got the guided tour. I also got to explore on my own. Really, I got to see what VP had to offer. The community was friendly, the worlds were interesting, and overall there's a lot to see if you go looking. There's probably thousands of tiny details I missed while exploring, and even more that I never even got close to seeing. Which is why I need to take a trip back, to say hello to everyone again, and start to unravel whatever mysteries the community has laid out for us to find.
Seems like a pretty cool community.
Thanks everyone for watching the video. It's fun to explore gaming worlds that feel like they only serve a niche audience now.
Yeah. I did enjoy this. Do I have any more? I have one, but like, I feel like I should save that for another time. I am getting quite tired, considering that I did not get enough sleep. So, yeah, I'm kind of like winding down right now. Yeah, let's go find somebody to raid, shall we, Gems? Yeah, tomorrow it's gonna be a certain Stardust's birthday. So we're going to be joining them for a bit and then moving on to Shipwreck 64, which I am excited for. Alright, who is on? Who is on? Who is on? Oh. Nope. 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 I was doing that. Oh. Ah, thank you, Ad. What's up, Nymph? Dancing around like that? And can the ad please stop? I would like to actually look at the person who I'm wanting to raid. Go get food. Well, stick around for the raid, then get food. Okay? How's that? How's that? Would you like to do that? Is that a good trick? A good thing? I don't know. Let's see. I am going to raid. No, not them. What about you? Not this group. Only Current can tell me what to do. Oh, is that right? Is that right, huh?
Absolutely, Nymphazor. I am dedicated to assisting and supporting Master Hook in any way I can. My loyalty knows no bounds. Now go get food, Nymph.
You know what? Let's go raiding someone who's playing Dark Souls 2. No, you're sticking around. I'm mods, quick, time up. All right. Render them. Now then. Exploring. Exploring is fun. Abandoned places is fun. There we go. Copy that and we shall get started. Thank you for watching, Gems. Tomorrow will be well, depending on how long we're going for the birthday. I do want to play Shipwreck. I was planning on playing it today, but I decided against it because I was not really feeling it. But we will be playing Shipwreck 64. But yes. Anyways, as always, I'm your host, Hook, and my co-host, Curran, over there, and thank you for watching. Have a good night, Gems.